Hello, and welcome to a sunny book nook. Sorry for any background noise. It's a really nice day out, so a lot of people are near my room, sitting outside on picnic blankets, etc. My name is Sunny. Welcome to a sunny book nook. I have a fruit-themed look going on today. I got my mango earrings, and I have this really cute top. Today I wanted to bring to you a TBR video in which you choose the next book that I read, because I have a stack of books with me here that are all short story collections, and I love a short story collection. You know this if you've been around here for a bit. So I want you to tell me what the next one I should read should be, because I'm somewhat indecisive and a mood reader, and I need someone else to pressure me into getting through my physical TBR. So let's go through these based on how long I've had them and like how egregious it is that I haven't read them yet because I have had them for so long. You get it. The first book I have here is one that I hauled last summer on this channel, and that is Love After the End, an anthology of two-spirit and indigiqueer speculative fiction edited by Joshua Whitehead. This is a pretty slim short story collection that is a bunch of, I think, speculative fiction authored by Indigenous queer people. Since it's an anthology, it's a bunch of different authors. There's 10 short stories in here, and the back says, "This bold and breathtaking speculative fiction anthology showcases a number of new and emerging two-spirit and queer Indigenous writers from across Turtle Island. These visionary authors show how queer Indigenous communities can bloom and thrive through utopian narratives that detail the vivacity and enduring strength of two-spirit queerness throughout its plight in the maw of settler colonialism's histories. Readers will discover bioengineered AI rats, transplanted trees in space, the rise of a two-spirit queer resistance camp, a primer on how to survive indigiqueerly, virtual reality applications, motherships at sea, and the very bending of space-time continuums queered through Indian time. Love After the End demonstrates the imaginatively queer two-spirit futurisms we have been dreaming of since 1492. And some of the featured authors are Nathan Adler, Gabriel Castillo Calderon, Adam Garnett Jones, Mari Carusato, Darcy Littlebadger, Kai Minoche Pyle, David A. Robertson, Jay Simpson, Naz Batam. I don't recognize any of those names except Darcy Littlebadger because everyone was talking about Alatsoe. I'm pretty sure is what she's written, and I have it on my physical TBR, but back in St. Louis. It's a middle grade fantasy that I think a lot of people really enjoy, so yeah, but this is a pretty short story collection that I've heard really good things about. I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet, but yeah, if you want me to read this speculative fiction short story collection, comment that this is the book that you want me to read next. The next book I have here has been on my TBR for not as long, but still pretty long, and that is Are You Enjoying? Stories by Mira Sethi. This book is a short story collection. This author is a young Pakistani author, and I've started reading one of the first stories in here, and the writing seems very literary and serious. Let's see what the inside flap says. From the high-stakes world of television and politics, the intimate corridors of home, including the bedroom, these deeply revealing stories look at life in Pakistan with humor, compassion, psychological acuity, and emotional immediacy. Childhood best friends agree to marry in order to keep their sexuality a secret. A young woman with an anxiety disorder discovers the numbing pleasures of an illicit love affair. A radicalized student's preparations for his sister's wedding involve beating up the groom. An actress is forced to grow up fast on the set of her major TV show, where the real intrigue takes place off-screen. Every story bears witness to the all-too-universal desire to be loved and what happens when this longing gets pushed to its limits. Are You Enjoying? Is a free-spirited introduction to a galvanizing new talent. So I think this is a debut. This is obviously one author's short stories. There are 7 short stories in here. The title of the collection is the last one. So let me know if that sounds intriguing to you, if you want me to read some adult literary fiction, short stories, and, you've read this and you think I'd like it, or you just find this interesting and you want me to read this next. Comment voting for it down below. The next book I got when I went to New York City, and if you haven't seen my reading vlog for that, you should check it out. But it's for International Women's Day, International Women's Month, essentially. Anyway, This book is another, of course, these are all short story collections. So this is another short story collection called How to Wrestle a Girl. This is not a debut author because the author, Vanita Blackburn, is the author of the short story collection Black Jesus and Other Superheroes. So I guess this is her second short story collection. So I think this is speculative because on the back it says, tender, tough, and often hilarious, the stories in Vanita Blackburn's How to Wrestle a Girl makes a loose vision of girlhood that is raw and never at ease. Blackburn's characters are hyper-aware of their bodies and distrustful of the world, fending off the failures and advances of those around them. So this short story collection is separated into 2 parts, and because it's a pretty short book, all of the short stories are very short too. They seem to all be within like 2 to 6 pages-ish, and I think it's a lot of exploration of black girlhood, queerness, identity. It says, in biology class, a chorus of students torment a teacher to near insanity, while in Bear Bear Harvest, TM, people sell their excess fat and skin for food processing as a part of ghoulish but satisfying tradition. Many of the stories set in Southern California follow a teenage girl in the aftermath of her father's death and capture her sister's and mother's encounters with men of all ages, as well as the girl's budding attraction to her best friend Esperanza. In and out of school, attending church with her hysterically complicated family, or dominating boys in arm wrestling, she grapples with her queerness and her emerging body. It seems very interesting. I picked it up, honestly, entirely because of the cover, because it's fucking beautiful, as you can see. It seems really interesting, and I love when short stories are very short. I mean, I love when short stories are long, too, because, like, you know, there's more content there, there's more to dive into. But yeah, let me know if this is the next book that you want me to read. And finally, the most recent book on this list that I have acquired is Things to Do When You're Goth in the Country and Other Stories by Shaviza Woods. The back says, the 8 stories and things to do when you're goth in the country. Did I say woods? Goth in the country. Paint a vivid image of people living on the fringes in America. People who don't do what you might expect them to. Not stories of triumph over adversity, but something completely other. A brilliantly surreal landscape that changes from one story to the next, and sardonic language that is a constant. Give us Zombie, about 2 girls who befriend a homeless woman who lives inside a mausoleum at a local cemetery. Take the Way that leads back to the Sullivan Street, about a lesbian and her partner who drop acid in their in-laws' Mensa's party. And A New Mohawk, about a transgender man who suddenly finds he has the Gaza Strip on his head with all the violence and suffering and black humor that entails. In the backdrop of all these stories are the endless American wars and occupations. This is fiction that is fresh and of the moment, even as it is timeless and for the ages. So this seems really interesting. Some surrealism going on. I love dry writing, and I feel like, you know, the back sort of says that it's contending with occupation and war. Also, like, the title is just so, it just grabs you in, you know what I mean? So yeah, let me know if this is the next book you want me to read. Alright, so these are the 4 books on my TBR that are short story collections, and, you know, let me know which one you want me to read next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!